What's all this racket out here? Oh, that's what I thought. Somebody's out here making something. What are you making, by the way?
Soup. Vegetarian soup.
You're making vegetarian soup?
Yes.
I hear that's one of your specialties.
Well,
This is something that you do once a week, isn't it?
It is.
Now, explain to me why you make soup once a week. What's the deal with that?
I like it. It's light, and I don't like dry food.
You don't like dry food?
No.
So you make soup once a week and you take it to work with you and have it all week long.
All week. Sometimes even for breakfast.
So you'll have it for breakfast and lunch?
Yes.
All right. Now, do you make this very same vegetable soup every single week, or?
Well, I vary it. Sometimes I'll put some type of pasta. Sometimes I'll put rice in there. Different vegetables. Different seasonings. So.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Looks like you've got quite the selection out here.
I do.
Okay, so what are you going to make in your? What are you going to put in your soup?
I'm going to start with the onions and the jalapenos.
Jalapenos?
Jalapenos. It makes it spicy. It makes it really, really good.
Okay.
And it's going to have tomatoes. It's going to have, as far as the green, it's going to have cabbage, kale, and cilantro. It's going to have carrots, cauliflower also, potatoes, and zucchinis.
Okay.
And at the end, I'm going to throw this blend.
What's that?
Different kinds of lentils, different kinds of rice. It's going to give it substance.
All right. I don't want to slow you down. Just keep working.
Okay.
Keep working. Now you don't go with just a recipe or anything, do you? You just kind of throw stuff together.
I get an empty pot.
Wow,
fill
that's
it with water and throw everything in there.
How much water do you put in a pot like that?
Half. Half because it's going to get full with once I put the vegetables in there.
Okay.
I don't use any oil. You could put soften the vegetables with oil, but it's not necessary.
Okay.
And it's as much healthier.
So you take a big pan like that, and that's your starting point.
Yes. But I'm going to flavor the water with some chicken bouillon.
Chicken bouillon? That's the secret ingredient, I guess, huh?
Yes, otherwise it's just boiled vegetables.
Okay, so you use that instead of like chicken broth.
Right.
This is just...
You could use a chicken broth, but...
But this is sort of like chicken broth after you put that in, right?
Yes.
How much of that stuff are you going to put in?
For a pot like this, I'm going to put 4 cubes.
Okay.
And there's 8 of them in here, so I'm going to save them.
Half of that.
For next week.
Now, do they have other bouillons at the store if you don't like chicken?
They have beef, they have tomato, which is really good, which I've used before as well. And vegetarian, which is good too, but I like it.
Vegetarian? What's in that one?
Vegetarian bouillon, just a bunch of vegetable seasonings in there.
Okay, and
It's so easy.
Those just get kind of mashed up when the water gets hot?
Yeah, they dissolve. There's some chicken bouillon that you can buy in powder.
Oh.
That would work too, but I'm just used to the cubes. That's it, pretty much. I do add salt and pepper later. And so at this point, it's just dump all the vegetables.
Okay.
Starting with the heart of vegetables.
How about it? Let's see it chop some stuff. Now this is the stuff I want to know about. Because I don't like hot, spicy stuff, but the way you do it, it's pretty tasty, as I recall.
It has a kick. But these actually are going to be taken out. It's just to flavor the bouillon. Let me walk this over there.
So you're going to throw those straight into that water just like that. Then you're going to take them out later and do some tricky stuff to them, right?
I am.
Okay, because I think that's the trick to this whole little
My secret.
recipe that you've got going on. And you put jalapenos in every soup you make, don't you?
Every soup. And actually, I'm being very conservative right now because you guys don't like the spice that I do. As spicy as I like it.
Yeah, how many jalapenos is that? 6 or 7?
It's more like 10.
And you usually put at least 20, don't you?
Minimum of 20.
Yeah. But you don't leave those in. We'll come back to that in a minute, won't we?
We will.
You're
In
gonna-
the meantime, I chop the vegetables while that softens up.
Okay, so does this have to boil to soften up, or
Yeah.
how do you know when it's ready to take out and do your special stuff to it?
Yeah, they turn dark green.
Okay.
They change colors and they get soft.
All right, so you got the water on high now. You can
On high.
bring that to a boil?
Yes. But I'm gonna add stuff like the
Okay.
onions. Onions and the jalapenos will boil together. Which I already have right here. Not like my onions a little chunky.
Ah, that's a lot of onions.
It's a big pot of soup. And I am gonna cover that. Excuse me. And let it boil away.
Okay, so that's the first step in making this vegetable soup. Okay, don't mind me, just chop away.
This corn is not for my soup. It's
Okay.
for us later. So at this point, I'm just gonna go with the hard vegetables, which is the potatoes. Don't remember what I put them. Potatoes, carrots, and the zucchini.
And those potatoes, you don't have to microwave them first or anything like that.
Just wash them.
You're just gonna wash those, and you're gonna chop those up and throw them in, huh?
I'm gonna cube it.
Okay. Because I always thought that would make your potatoes kind of hard in the soup, but I guess the trick is how long you leave the water on there when you're making your soup. That's what I'm kind of curious on.
This is not an instant soup. It's gonna take its time.
How long will it take to cook?
I'm gonna say from beginning right now till the end, probably an hour. And that's because, again, I start with the base. The longest part of this is chopping the vegetables.
Yeah. But you just kind of have a feel for how much of everything you want. You just will take whatever you got, throw it all together, and there's your soup.
There's my soup. In fact, I have in the past just opened the freezer, the refrigerator, and just thrown everything in the pot and make a soup out of that. So here's one potato. I may not put all 4 of them because I'm already going to have some. I'm going to put the lentils and the potatoes in there. And that's going to be my. What do you call it in English?
Your base? Your soup stock? I don't know.
Not the carbohydrates, but the starch.
The starch, okay.
Yeah, I don't want it too starchy. That's why I don't put corn in here. If I put potatoes, I don't put corn.
Okay, so either potatoes or corn, but not both.
Right.
Okay.
So pretty much it's just the next thing that I want is carrots. I want them chunky. You can put any kind of vegetables in here. I put some squash one time, butternut squash. That came out really good.
Yeah.
Sometimes instead of cilantro for the herb, I'll put something else. I'll put basil instead. I'll throw some oregano instead. So even though it's every week, they're always different.
So this looks like something anybody could do to make soup, right? No special. I always thought you had to go buy a recipe and make exactly what the recipe shows, but
Not at all. Not one bit.
you're just gonna cut everything up and throw it in.
Yes. It is good to have some variety. For example, this time I'm not putting broccoli, but normally I do. Broccoli. I have cauliflower. Sometimes I'll leave the cauliflower out and we'll bell pepper or something. That's a lot of carrots, but I like carrots. So these are the hard vegetables. The onion is not a hard vegetable, but it's a seasoner. It's gonna flavor my water.
What's going to flavor your water?
The onions.
The onions.
But the carrots and potatoes are the hardest ones, so they're gonna go first.
Okay.